Hey guys, Robin Rosado with Top Speed Golf. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how we can shallow the club easy in the golf swing. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so shallowing the golf club early in our golf swing or in our downswing, why that's really important? Because when we shallow the golf club early here, we've squared everything up. So on the way down, you don't have to really focus at all with your hands. You don't have to do anything coming into the golf ball to get that club face to square up. Once we shallow it out early, boom, we can just rotate through impact and it's going to deliver that club face pretty square with a decent amount of shaft lane. So what are the two things that I see the most that make it difficult to shallow the golf club early? The first one I see, probably a more common one, is that when you take it to the top of your golf swing, you're coming across the line. So you can see my club head here is pretty much right above my head. Now this is way across the line. Not a lot of people get really there, but it's making it really difficult. You got to use a lot of work to shallow the golf club on the way down. So we're coming across the line. Most common thing I see, staying steep and coming across, hitting a big old slice. Or for good players, maybe they're coming across, they don't shallow it out early enough, so now that you're a little bit steep right here, if you look at that laser, it's pretty much pointing right down at my feet, and then you know that you gotta shallow it out or swing into out. So now we're shallowing out late. You can see that face is wide open, but my path is now, my body's in the way, my path is now traveling too much into out, and I'm gonna hit a big old block out to the right where I work those hands and I hook it. So now the other thing that I see, so now that maybe you've looked at your golf swing, you saw that you're way across the line. Now I see people do is they get too flat and now their hands are behind them and the club is behind them. And again, making it really hard to deliver that club face again behind you here, or you get really flat, counterbalance and come over the top, both making it really difficult to get to a proper position on the way down. So today's drill we're going to work on to make it really easy to shallow it out. And now don't get me wrong, like I don't think coming across the line or getting too flat aren't really bad things. As long as you're on the way down, you're shallowing out and you're coming to a good position at impact, but it just makes it a little bit harder. So let's make it easy for you. I've got a good drill for you to get to a pretty good position here, so then it makes it really easy to shallow out. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so this first drill we're gonna talk about, well, it's gonna make it easy for us to get to a better position at the top to get us to shallow out early. The one thing I want you to do is take it to about halfway back. I want you to get to this position here. So my left arm is parallel to the ground. The club is pretty much creating a right angle with my left arm. And then they're in line pretty much right now with the sternum or my right pec halfway back. And from here, all I want you to do is take the club, don't hinge your wrists anymore, and almost pierce the clouds with the club head. That's what you're gonna do. Go here and pierce those clouds with the club head. You'll notice what that's gonna do. If I go just kind of straight up, it's really hard, and I don't use my hands at all, it's really hard for me to come across the line. And if I go halfway back and feel like I'm going straight up, it's really hard for me to get flat and behind me. Again, this is an over-exaggeration feeling. You don't have to feel like you need to do this in your real swing, but I guarantee you, if you're struggling with both across the line or flat, and you just go here and feel like you're piercing the clouds, you're gonna find that you're gonna get you to a pretty square position at the top. And now you've got room, once you go high up here, to make it really easy to shallow the club on the way down. So go ahead and take 5 practice swings doing that. Halfway back, pierce the clouds, you can go back down. Halfway back, pierce the clouds, and now you can focus on shallowing the golf club. Okay, so now you just did that drill, right? You just got to a somewhat higher position, so now you're not across the line or you're too flat. So now you're at a point where you can feel like, okay, I can shallow it out. Well, this is gonna be a really good one here for you guys to see if you really are shallowing the golf club early. Go ahead and take a normal setup. I've got a 6-iron in my hand. Doesn't matter what club you use. And I'm gonna place half of this alignment stick down the club shaft here, and half of it's gonna be sticking outside the butt of the club. And you notice when I set up to it, it's gonna be outside of my left hip here. So when I set up to the golf ball, and I take it back, okay, halfway back to my 90-degree angle, that's sticking straight down the ground, and I take it up, pierce the clouds, but now if I shallow it out on the way down, you can go and check yourself. This alignment stick should be pointed about 2 feet outside of that golf ball there. Here, at least it's outside. Your goal was, remember, if we get too steep, you can see where that alignment stick is pointing down, pretty much in line with my feet here. If I go up and shallow it out early, you can see that alignment stick is pointing outside that golf ball, and then focus on rotation. And that alignment stick now is on the outside part of my left hip. I got a decent amount of shaft lean and rotation of my lower body. You don't have to go in, you don't have to really hit golf balls with these, because if you follow through, that alignment mistake may actually hit you. It's just a point of reference to visually see if you actually are shallowing the golf club on the way down. Again, 5 of those. That's gonna really help you visually see how you're shallowing out, and then you can go ahead and hit a golf ball. So we just learned how to really shallow the golf club early in our downswing. Now, if you want some serious results, now we need to start getting some lag on the way down. So Clay's gonna talk about lag here in a second. It's gonna be a preview of a full version of our lag video. You're gonna wanna click on the iCard, it's gonna take you to the full version of that video. So go ahead and do that, have fun working on it, and we'll see you guys soon.
Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're gonna try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm gonna talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also gonna give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position. Exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we wanna do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag.